Community Viewpoint.
And welcome again to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pawlak, your host for this segment. And we have a real treat today. We're going to have as our guest Salli Kerr, who is the new executive director of Nevada Outreach. You may have remembered her for being the executive director over at the Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
But now she's moved over and she's going to do wonders for Nevada Outreach. And you're going to tell us a little bit about some of the things that you're doing there and what Nevada Outreach does.
Right. So I'm happy to be at Nevada Outreach training, and I am indeed the new executive director. We have several programs. You know, it's almost a misconception that we are No to Abuse solely.
Right.
So No to Abuse is a program that, of course, runs that I think the public's pretty familiar with of everything we do, domestic violence victims, and we do advocate programs for them. We do, support groups and help with, they need to get court documents or restraining orders, and just really kind of help typically the ladies, but men also can be victims of domestic violence, and so help those victims get back on their feet and a new start and headed in a good positive direction. So that's our, the domestic violence program. We also have the Family Resource Center, and so we try to offer folks in the community, say they need household goods, or their kids need a bed, or we can offer them resources in helping them fill out applications for food stamps or for Medicare and Medicaid and electric and other utility assistance and things like that. We can help with all of those resources. We have staff that help fill those applications out and help get those people the help they need. That same group also oversees the Community Crisis Intervention Committee.
Which I was part of for a while.
Right.
Yes, and that does a lot of good for, the civilians and for the veterans too, but regular people in need here, but also the veterans.
Right, and that program, like you say, it covers both. So we do the civilian, regular community population, but we also have direct funding that is allocated only for veterans.
Right.
And so we really try and work closely with the veteran service clubs to make sure that those veterans get access to those things that were given specifically to benefit them. And so the Family Resource Center is a busy place.
Yes, it is.
And then we also have the Independent Living for Foster Care program. So kids...
I haven't touched on that. What is that?
Kids in foster care are referred to our program, and it basically is a caseworker mentorship program. So we have a caseworker that takes those kids in at 14 and mentors them clear through until they're 21. So it really is to focus on getting them living independently. Oftentimes, as a foster child on day 18 years and 1, you're out of a home.
Right,
unless you have really bonded with the family that has had you to day 18, you end up not in a situation where you have, like, typically your family would come around you with your, figuring out how to get your first month's rent paid, and you've had a job and you have a car and you have those things that foster kids don't often get an opportunity to have. And so the best way to do that is to give them methods to get independent. And that program has been hugely successful. We have a far higher graduation rate than the state standard. So like 95% of the kids in that program graduate from high school. And
really?
Yeah, and a large percentage of them go on to college or trade school. We can offer them support clear down to computers for schooling, or getting schooling funding in place. There are special grants for foster care kids for school. But just getting them beyond day 8, year 18 and 1 day, to how to be really a successful person in the community, how to bring all of that. And, now we see as this program has progressed that those kids are calling now, but 22, 23, 24, and they're, positive members of our community that are really adding things and bringing their own kids in and breaking that cycle. And it just really goes directly back to the one-on-one mentorship that this program brings to them.
Very interesting. And what are some of the other things that you're going to be involved with? We're coming up to the end of the year.
We're coming up to the end of the year. We're moving, of course, that means into Christmas. We just made it through Thanksgiving, and we're all done with our Black Friday shopping. And, and so now, from now on, we look to Christmas.
Yes.
And so we have a couple of things coming up. We are beneficiaries of the 20th anniversary Nevada Silver Tappers benefit show. So
Our lovely silver tappers.
Right.
Yes.
Yep. So they do their annual Christmas variety show. This is their 25th anniversary for that show. It's being held at Saddle West. It's a variety show, so it's not just the tappers performing; it's community members also performing.
Right. Yeah, I was there last year. Yes. Yeah. It's very heartwarming, and there was a good crowd that was there. Yes.
Yeah, and it's being held at Saddle West. $10 a ticket. 2 shows, 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Saturday, the 5th of December.
Okay.
So that same group did a vet swing right around
Just recently.
Yeah, right around Veterans Day.
Right.
And that money raised, in fact, goes to the CCIC Veterans Fund. That money is designated specifically for veterans. So they will be presenting that check on that Saturday, December 5th, that goes to the benefit of the veterans. In addition to that, the money that's raised at the annual Christmas Variety Show is being split between Nathan Adelson Hospice, the weekend backpack program for kids, and
deliver backpacks.
Yeah,
Yes.
that same program is going to be a beneficiary of that show, and then our No to Abuse program.
Yes.
So we're really happy to be supporting them in their show, not just because we're beneficiaries, but in addition to the fact that they think of us when they put that show together. We're grateful for their support and can't do the services we do without that kind of community support.
Right. So the tickets for that show?
Tickets for that show are $10 a ticket.
And where?
You can get them at the chamber. You could actually get them at the No to Abuse office, the Nevada Outreach Training office. You get in touch with any silver tapper. BJ makes them carry tickets everywhere they go. That's December 5th.
Yes.
And then Nevada Outreach Training does a community outreach for Christmas. And we put together a day of food and fun and frivolity for families, December 11th, from 4 to 8 o'clock. We open up the Bob Roode Center. This year it will be a Victorian-themed Magic of Christmas. And the program managers really just create a winter wonderland in the Bob Roode Center. So there will be a park with vendors. There will be Victorian houses that you can look through into Victorian scenes. There's storytelling. There's craft making. There's cookie decorating. There's an emporium where you can kids can buy their parents gifts, and or anybody can shop there. But it's always nice to have the little ones be able to really provide a gift to their parents. Santa will be there with his wife, and there will be pictures. So it really is a full family-oriented event being held December 11th from 4 to 8.
And that's going to be at the community center?
It's at the community center.
And can people donate just to that?
They can donate just to that, for sure.
Did we have your number down there for there? So we make sure that number's up. Oh, we didn't put it up there? 775?
Right, 751.
1118.
That is right.
Yes.
Yes. And anybody who would like to direct something specifically to that program, we'd love to have the help. It really is. We have churches that are helping make cookies. The community CCA steps out and makes cookies.
The
correction facility.
Right.
Yep. We really have good support, but we can always use more. We're serving about 400 people, and it's free for them to attend. So we're encouraging families come. It's not just drop your kids off. We want families to participate.
Yes.
And but there's no cost to them to come do that.
Oh, interesting. So you've got Your hands full. You have plenty of things to do.
I do have
Yes.
plenty of things to do. I do have my hands full. And in addition to everything we talked about, we also have those same services offered in Tonopah. So we have a Tonopah office as well.
So you have to travel up there then?
I do. Yeah, I'm
okay.
learning the road to Tonopah,
Okay.
and I typically go up about 3 times a month, and
Okay, it's not too bad.
so it's not terribly bad. And it's of course I picked in November to start that travel, so it's all pending roads now. But really, it's not a terrible trip, and so we have to coordinate those services in that office also.
And do you, how many people do you have up there?
2.
2 people up there?
Yep. Yeah, so we have 2 up here, 2 up there, 4 here. And, you know, we're always looking for new and different ways to outreach. We also, this is way in advance, but people want to remember that the Chili Cook-Off supports Nevada outreach training too. So that's March 19th. If anybody wants to get that on their calendar already, and be sure that they come to the Silver State Chili Cook-Off and car show, which in conjunction with a car show again.
Yeah, that worked out real well, combining those 2 things.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's already planned. You know, none of those things never happen overnight. People think that the car show just grows up in the park, but
No.
it's months and months of planning. So we are having planning meetings for that already, and that directly benefits Nevada outreach training as well.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So you've got a lot of things planned to help bolster the funds that you put out for everybody.
Right.
You have to have, well, it all comes in from donations, from fundraising, grants?
And grants.
Grants. Who writes the
Yeah.
grants?
Well, we're in a state right now where I'll be writing new grants as new money comes out, and then we have, of course, existing grants that were already in place when I came in. So all of the grant reporting and things that go along with that process. But people don't understand. You know, like I say, yes, we're grant funded, but those grants require a match, and so you know, those donations are important because I have to be able to show them that we have a solid base of support in the community in order to qualify for some of those grants. So every little bit helps. Anything that they donate that we can either give to families or have at our, we're going to start a monthly or every other month yard sale. All of the funds or people who would come shop at those things go directly into grant management and donations and matching funds and, you know, funding the Family Resource Center. So it all kind of combines to help us perform.
Yes. I could listen to you for hours, but we're out of time already.
How did that happen?
I'm sorry. It's very comfortable listening to you. Last words?
No, I'm just grateful to be here, you know. And
Sorry. it's
He
over
can
with
fix
already.
all that.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for
Thank
stopping
you.
by. And we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Community Viewpoint.